Hello guys, my name is Adreden. Today we're going to talk about the changes in the lighting in Alpha 19. So in short, they're changing from gamma lighting space into linear lighting space. The fun pimps took a couple months in actually converting this. Developers couldn't see different things while they were producing the game, so they needed to, rework a lot of the assets so that they looked better. And the reason why they had to rework everything pretty much was because since the game was developed, it was always developed in gamma space, and so everything was kind of tuned to that presentation level. And this made the game look washed out for years. So here in 7 Days to Die in the game, here's a bit of a scene where it's just washed out. You can see some of the, it looks kind of faded and whatnot. Here's a correction that I often do with my graphics card just to make it look a lot nicer. I bring up the saturation and change the contrast a bit, and then it kind of looks a lot nicer. And here are some of the examples of when it gets a little bit oversaturated in the game. Like if there's too much light shining on something, it just gets too white, and then it just, doesn't really look right. Let's get into some of the details. So what this is just the way the light picks up the texture information, like the colors from different materials like wood or stone or cement or plants, and projects that out onto the screen that you see essentially. And then of course that impacts how, you perceive the world. Okay, so here is essentially a side-by-side of what the game used to look like on the top and what it looks like now on the bottom with a linear lighting. It definitely pops more, and one of the features of linear lighting is that it does not look as washed out as gamma does. It just picks up those colors a little bit better. With the new linear lighting, this is what a lot of the blocks now look like. And here's an example of what the sky looks like now versus back then. Certainly more washed out back then than compared to now. So we'll just go a little bit deeper if you want. I went over here to just find out more about it. This is the Unity documentation, and it just talks about how the different color spaces react to light and what it looks like. One of the first main things is the light fall off is different because it changes the way the light reflects off of materials in a more linear fashion. Here it says, when rendering in linear mode, the additional gamma correction that is performed makes the light radius appear bigger. So I think that's this one here. It looks a little bit larger, and the lighting edges appear more clearly. And this is probably the most apparent thing here because you can see that this is kind of more shaded. This is much more abrupt, and this is apparently more realistic looking relative to what the objects are supposed to look like. This is the linear intensity response. So the textures are already corrected for gamma. So in gamma color space, this makes the colors brighter than they should be because of the lighting texture correction in the shaders. What this means is that it makes the certain things look too bright in the game or a bit washed out. And so yeah, here you can see the example of linear space where things look a little bit better at intensity 1 and get a little bit washed out at intensity 5. But I mean, hey, on a super bright sunny day or near a spotlight, things get awfully bright compared to color space where it kind of looks a little bit darkish, and then maybe even a little bit plasticky. And then even just at intensity 1, it gets a little bit too much. It's washed out over here and pretty dark here. Actually, I think I can see a little bit more detail in here, and then it's definitely washed out here. Then we have linear gamma blending. So this is what happens when you have colors coming from different light sources blending in game, generally in, I guess, a frame buffer. And so in gamma space, it doesn't blend correctly, and you get these weird effects where the colors don't quite look right and they blend in a non-linear way. And so this here is the gamma version, where here you can see these weird effects where on the edges it's oversaturated and weirdly, weirdly brightly colored. Same here, this is like, it looks bloomy or something. It's really weird looking. Whereas the top here is the linear space, and it is a lot better. Like there's none of that weird effect on the edges of the blending because it's due to that non-linear mathematics stuff. And so it just looks nicer. And same here in the middle, like it's not quite as bright and washed out. So it's pretty cool. All right, guys, if you found that interesting, hit that like button and share with some friends. I'll try to cover some more aspects of Alpha 19, and I can't wait for it to come out. It'll be really fun and exciting. If you are new to the channel and want to stay informed of 7 Days to Die, learn more about it, hit that subscribe button. Also, head on over to Instagram and Twitter, and I can chat with you over there. Okay, thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.